Okay, it's me again. I'm just filming a bunch of videos today because I have a lot of time. So if you're thinking I'm in the same outfit, yes, I am. And no. What? Things you should learn in college. So once you graduate, you should know how to do these things. The first thing is learning how to talk things out maturely. So in high school, one of my friends, well, I don't know if I should even call her a friend. Okay, anyway, so there was a person, let's call her
Anna, and whenever she got mad at you, like she would never tell you she's mad at you, she would just ignore you, like completely. And that's how you knew she was mad at you, but then she wouldn't tell you why she was mad at you, and so you would have to try to guess or try to ask other friends to see if they knew why she was mad at you.
And that just became really tiring and really annoying. And then, so what I would do is just ignore her back. But in college, I learned that, you know, you can be adults, you can be mature about these things and actually talk it out. So for instance, if you have a problem with your roommate keeping the bathroom dirty or something, you can just say, hey, I think I would really like if we could come up with a way to keep the bathroom clean. That's okay with you.
So even though it might escalate into something more ugly, I mean, maybe she'll end up ignoring you, but at least you started from a very mature place and you try to be reasonable and you went in it, you know, like an adult.
So another example is there's a guy who liked me but I didn't like him. So normally high school me
would probably just be mean to them or like really find ways to avoid them. But this time,
you know, now that we were in college, we were mature about it, and then we met kind of outside on campus somewhere where there were lots of people, and we just took turns. We were very mature about it. We said, this is how I feel, and then you just say your part, and then they have their turn, and then you guys just have a conversation and you try to work things out that way rather than you know, being really childish and cryptic, and because it's just no fun for anyone. It's just frustrating that way. Number two, one thing you should learn is knowing how to form a relationship, a good relationship with a mentor or a professor or just someone who can help you. My sister goes to UCSD and she says it's kind of hard to make good relationships with professors because her classes are huge, but one thing I've taken away is not to be afraid to really ask for help or ask to meet with them, or if you're really having trouble like seeking out more support from your professors, from your advisors or your TAs.
I used to be really nervous about talking to professors. In fact, when I talked to them, I would start crying because I was so nervous. It was so embarrassing because I would really try to you know, make a good impression for them, and I felt like everything I was doing was just bad or like not good enough, and so we would just be talking about like he would be like,
what classes are you taking?
And then I'd start crying, and then they're like, what
is going on?
Learn how to talk to people you look up to, or learn how to talk to people in, you know, those high spots of power who can possibly help you out. And it's okay if you don't understand. It's okay if you say,
oh, what is this concept, like, can you, like, I'm having trouble understanding this.
But instead of just saying like,
I don't get it, like, I don't know anything,
maybe you could be more articulate and say,
this is what I understand, and I think the gap for me is how does this become this?
Just being able to express yourself more maturely and more accurately without letting emotion really cloud over how like the message you want to get across, I think was a really valuable thing I learned. All right, another thing is learning to think critically. And by that, I mean learning how to analyze and critique.
You know, it could be concepts, it could be a book, it could be a movie, it could be like the feminist movement, you know, anything.
Instead of just like taking it for granted, being able to look at it with a critical eye and
being informed, and just not taking everything someone says for granted. Like, especially when I was in high school, I was such a suck up to my teachers. So anything that they told me, I just took it as the end all.
Well, this was especially true for things like philosophy, religion, that sort of thing. I mean, now I learn to kind of distance myself from what I am reading
And instead of just having it all like sink into me, I try to be more selective of what I choose to believe, because I've held it against, you know, my other experiences, other sources, other publications, other works before I actually buy into the concept or whatever it is.
The next thing I learned was I learned how to say no.
No.
That's such a corny thing to say, but seriously, you just have to say no to a lot of things. I guess you need to learn how to say no in a way that still keeps your relationship intact. So just finding ways to you know, say no gracefully. Like if a friend invites you out,
say, oh, I really can't tonight, I really have to work on my essay, but maybe we can do it this other night.
Because I realized I was saying yes to everything. Like whenever my friends invited me out, I said yes, because I felt like, one, they wouldn't invite me again, and two, they wouldn't like me anymore. But I realized they say no to me on a lot of things, and it's not like I hate them. I totally understand if they said they have to work on some schoolwork. Okay, yeah, I mean, that happens to all of us. If they say like they're not feeling up for it because like another reason, or because they really want to watch this show, I mean, that's fine. People can do their own thing, and I wish I had known that before, but now I learned to back out in a way that doesn't make me super anxious. Okay, next thing I learned was self-care and time management. In freshman year, spring semester, I was in this class that I really did not enjoy, and I didn't really understand anything that was going on in that class. So a group of friends and I would just pull an all-nighter on Thursday because the homework was due on Friday. So we would meet Thursday after dinner, and then we would work all night to try to go through these problems. And I guess I learned that the key to self-care is a combination of many things, including time management, including diet, including exercise, including the people you surround yourself with. But that is something that you really have to take responsibility on yourself, because your parents aren't there, or maybe they are there, I don't know, but you have so much independence for the first time. And so learning how to be an adult is something you should learn by the time you graduate. All right, next thing is learning what is a good friend. I learned to be really selective about the people I choose to surround myself with. And I'm not trying to sound really snobby or anything, but there were some people who I thought were my friend, and then they would blow me off, or they would be really immature about something and go like talk about me behind my back to someone else. Or I felt like I was giving them a lot of my time and energy, and I wasn't really getting any of that back. It wasn't like a two-way street. So then I learned to really focus my time and energy on those who I know, those who want me to succeed, and those whom I want to succeed. I think in freshman year, we just want to be friends with everyone because we're afraid of not making friends. But then as time goes on, you learn to be more selective, and you learn when someone's just trying to use you, basically. Important stuff. Well, that's it. Good luck.